Hi guys, how's it? Kia ora to my Kiwi whānau, and yeah, 13-12, the final from Bloemfontein, Toyota Stadium there in Bloemfontein, as Wales wins one with a late try from Josh Adams at the 77th minute, and Anscombe nails it through. Knock on in extra time ends it for the Bokke. So far, Southern Hemisphere teams 0-3 on the weekend. We still got Scotland and Argentina to come later in the day. And here is the post-game wrap-up. We'll go ahead and get it started. Not a lot of action in the first half. Penalty off the kickoff, starting the game. Dan Bigger elects to kick. It was Peter Steph off his feet, and he nails it through. It's 3-0 a minute in. 4 minutes later, offside penalty, quite a few of those on Wales today, and Pollard elects to kick and makes it 3-3 at the 5th minute. 7 minutes later, Dweba gets a penalty for tackling the man without the ball, and Dan Bigger shanks it. 5 minutes after that, 17th minute, Thomas gets a scrum penalty, and Pollard elects to kick from 47 meters out and gets nothing. It's 3-3 going into half. Evan Roos played a hell of a game. Minor mistakes. Esterhuizen, minor mistakes. You see some of the young mistakes. Jaden Hendricks was playing great. Eben Etzebeth put in a proper shift. Obviously not a massive guy. There were mistakes being made. We spent 40 minutes, probably 33 of them, in the Welsh half, in the first half, and only came away with 3 single points. Unfortunately, halftime goes in. We get a change of Vincent Koch and Malcolm Marks come in. A little bit of a momentum shift there. And then I have a problem with my feed, the original problem that I had. 43rd minute in, Pollard kicks, and he's now 2 of 3 for kicking. He goes up 6-3. Not even 8 minutes later, another offside penalty on Wales, and Pollard elects to kick once more, and we go up 9-3, 51 minutes into the game. Couple of minutes, another offside penalty. Pollard misses that kick. Alan Wynne-Jones at the 56th minute. Referee Angus Gardner was on Wales all day for offside penalties, just minor stuff, not throwing the ball straight in lineouts, and Alan Wynne-Jones protests, but once he sees the review, accepts his yellow card and walks away. 2 minutes after that, another offside penalty by Wales, and Pollard kicks from straight in front. 4 of 6 kicking on the day, and we go 12-3 at the 58th minute. Lots of back and forth. This is when my live feed in between that time crashed, and I'm sorry for anybody that was watching. It was just an issue with my provider here, and you didn't really see me after the 60th minute, 63rd, 64th minute. We get a penalty, 66th minute in, not releasing on Arenza. He puts his hand up, he knows he screwed up, and Anscombe kicks and makes it 12-6 at the 66th minute. At this point, the momentum is definitely shifted in the Welsh favor. We just making minor mistakes the whole time, and it turns into Josh Adams getting a tryout wide on the left side at the 77th minute off of an advantage, penalty advantage, and Anscombe nails it through. And we have an opportunity right as the siren goes off. We win a scrum. Unfortunately, we get it down. We knock the ball on, and that is it. So Wales makes history by their first victory in the Rainbow Nation, as some will call it, in South Africa, by a score of 13-12. My overall takeaway from this game was Deon Fourie came in trying to play like somebody that was 15 years younger than himself. Hats off to you, man. You're not that much younger than me. Us old dudes, we can still do it. Franz Stein, Morney Stan, all these guys, we can still do it. We're older guys. Dwayne Vermeulen, yeah, we can still do it, guys. It's looking like they just handed out man of the match here to a Welsh player. But my overall takeaway was I was really, really impressed with some of these guys. Joseph Dweba had an absolutely amazing run. Curly Arenza had some. We just weren't able to close the deal. Was that youth? Was that inexperience? probably both of those things. Fourie, work element, played absolutely great at fullback. Couple of little questionable mistakes that he made. Jaden Hendricks played absolutely amazing. I don't think we played bad. We just didn't play great. And a lot of that, I think, came from inexperience. Peter Steph came out after injury, coming back from an injury, and really tried to cement his place. Wasn't too impressed with Thomas Dutoit. That'd probably be, I could go down the list here and tell you who did well. Joseph Dwaba did well. Nakani had his moments. Ebenezabeth put in a proper shift today. Marvin Ori did well. Marcel Kutsia, another veteran, came in, did really well for himself. We weren't able to close the deal in the first half. We should have gone into the halftime up by a lot, by at least 12-15 points. And unfortunately, we take our first L from Wales on South African soil. And, they're showing the crowd. I've got the TV on to my right here, and they're just, Welsh fans that made the trip, or Welsh fans that live in South Africa, are just obviously absolutely stoked and happy at the moment. And congrats to them. I still think we played better than we did last week. We just didn't close the deal when we needed to. We should have been putting points on the board. In the first half, many missed opportunities, just knock-ons, just bad. Wales was playing horribly. Offside, penalties constantly. We just didn't capitalize on those mistakes, and it was reflected in the final score. Andre Pollard, great game, great as a captain on the team, 64th captain in Springbok history. I'm watching his post-game. I have my headphones so I can't hear it, but you can just see the frustration on his face. He knows that we left a lot out on the field. We left a lot of points out there that just did not. We just weren't cashing the checks when we were handed them. And he's very correct in that statement. So we go to a final and decisive Game 3 next weekend. Same time, I believe, around 10 a.m. start. Of course, I will be going live for that one as well. And we will do a wrap-up at the end of the weekend here on all the international matches. Obviously, we're not the only team in the Southern Hemisphere that took an L today. We saw England beat Australia earlier and beat them physically and fucked them up physically, as Rassi would say. And the one that I was not shocked by, Ireland schooled the All Blacks. That was a textbook schooling, which they have done multiple times in the last couple of years. They did it in Chicago. They did it last year. In Ireland, they took the All Blacks out of their comfort element, their comfort zone, and when you do that with the All Blacks, you see what happens. They play like crap. But am I pissed that we lost? Of course I'm pissed that we lost, but the reality is, at the end of the day, is that we deserve to lose. We didn't capitalize on opportunities that were handed to us on a silver platter by Wales the whole game. They handed us this game, and we just didn't take it off the plate needed. So back to the drawing board for next weekend. There are some guys that I would love to see that played this game that didn't play last game that I'd love to absolutely see. Peter Steph Dutoit, definitely. Evan Roos, definitely. Esterhuizen off the bench, please. Not necessarily Deon Fourie. Let's let Vise and Roos fight that out for that 8th man jersey, because we know we don't have an infinite amount of time with Deon Fourie, but we need to find his replacement. And I saw things in both of those players that I really enjoyed. I liked Roos as a fetcher a bit more. His body size was a little bit more of what I prefer at a number 8. I prefer the taller number 8s. Like Deon Fourie, he's a proper tall guy, good for fetching the ball, and just good for anchoring, kind of steering the scrum. The debuts that we had today, obviously, I didn't get to see a whole lot of Ron Norkia, because he came in so late. He came in for replacement for Marvin Ori. We didn't get to see a whole lot of Damien Valemza. I think maybe he could have been a difference maker. Because Deon Fourie did really good as an aging vet. You could see he was just hungry to get out there, and he got the ball. When he got the ball, he ran with it, and you can't knock a guy for doing that. Fourie had an okay game. He just was not really a huge factor. A couple of bad kicks. And that's what I said. It was opportunities that we just left out on the pitch today, and it was, shown in the final score. So, I hope everyone has a better Saturday despite the loss. We can rest easy that both of our other Southern Hemisphere teams did not fare as well as we did either, and we lost by a much slimmer margin than both than both Australia and New Zealand. Now we leave it up to the Argentinians to see if they can break this curse on the weekend. We all went 4-0 the first weekend. We're 0-3 on the second weekend. Let's see if we can go at least 1-3 on the second weekend. But just a little disappointed, never like a loss. But I'll talk to you guys again very soon. Cheers, guys.